Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Denise Gary Show. It is my honor to have Major General Paul VALLELY back with us on the show. General Paul VALLELY, thank you for coming on today. I know that on your website, standupamerica.us.org, you've posted an important piece that talks about, where are the admirals, where are the generals, where are my fellow veterans, talking about how Biden's decision to pick Lloyd Austin as the defense secretary has led to a couple different things that I want my audience to be clear about. Number one, I think what we're seeing is a purge of U.S. military personnel that are more conservative, that embrace a Judeo-Christian traditional thinking and vote similarly, as well as this new program that's teaching critical race theory. Would you react to President Biden's decision to appoint Lloyd Austin, as our new Secretary of Defense, and what's going on in the military right now?
Well, Denise, let's go back to Obama and his purge of some 120 senior officers during his presidency. Biden and that team, headed by Susan Rice, by the way, she's the one that gives Biden the orders what to say and what to do, and that comes directly from Obama to Rice, that's in the executive office building right next to the White House. So that's the chain of command now. And they have thought out well who they put in these executive positions, the various secretaries throughout the executive branch. And so they vetted pretty well somebody who's probably a general of color, as they call it. He's a West Point graduate. He probably leans to the left. They knew that already. He was liberal, much like Colin Powell ended up being. And so with that in place, they were able then to put in the various secretaries under him who would be following the same doctrine that would be preached coming from the White House. So that's how it works, and that's why he's in there. And I don't know General Austin, but I've been told he does what he's told. Okay. And that's what's happening. It's Susan Rice to Biden to down what happens to policies and all the directives. That's the chain of command.
So he's not a leader. He's not a leader. He's a follower then.
He's a follower. He's a face on the screen that you see. He's creating none of this himself because I don't think he's mentally capable of it at this point in time. But he's a front man for Obama and that whole thing with critical race theory. And so I would say Obama probably made the recommendation who he had known General Austin through the years. And I think that's the way it came about. I don't know for sure, but I think it's a pretty good analysis.
Okay, thank you. So I want to talk about just the armed forces in general. So, here I'm not a military person, but, as a student of history and as a political scientist, teaching political science in the classrooms, my understanding, and I think most Americans believe, that the armed forces have to be fully committed to one another, to accomplishing the mission, to fight and to win. And I was looking at what Representative Mark Green, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Green is a Republican who's introduced a bill to block critical race theory training in U.S. military academies. And Major General, he said, the United States military service academies are designed to train leaders and warriors for combat, men and women of every race, creed, and religion, and that critical race theory's divisiveness is going to destroy the unit cohesion that the military needs to win in combat. Your reaction to Representative Mark Green's point?
It's already happened.
Okay.
It's already happened within the armed forces. We have people like Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeyer, U.S. Air Force now, who has stood up strictly against the critical race theory because it's fundamentally transformed the U.S. military as we speak today.
That is disturbing.
Absolutely. They're falsely claiming with propaganda that the Constitution was made by white supremacy, the official policy of the United States of America. This is under the project, what they call 1619. Mm-hmm. This is all false.
Right.
We've all sworn in the military an oath to defend the Constitution. And to defend the Constitution that we all take in the military does not make white supremacy the official policy of the United States. It's strictly a fraud. It's a total fraud on America.
White supremacy was never the official policy of the United States. And ladies and gentlemen, our founding document called the Declaration of Independence points to the belief in our Judeo-Christian system that says all men are created equal. And in the United States Constitution, slavery was to be outlawed, and indeed it was. And in fact, we fought a civil war in which tens of thousands of white men fought to end slavery, and a white president, Abraham Lincoln, a Republican, the 16th president of the United States, was assassinated for writing the Emancipation Proclamation that put into law and led to the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution, which made all men equal. General VALLELY, you said something that startled me just now. You just said that this has already been happening, this divisiveness in the U.S. military. That's deeply troubling. How do you see that being manifested? What do you hear? I mean, what's happening that's already, that you're already thinking this is an ongoing problem now?
Well, General Austin, Secretary of Defense, has brought in this guy named Bishop that is a racist, anti-white. He has put this bishop in charge of the critical race theory
teaching
promulgated throughout the ranks.
Okay.
And so this has been going on for several weeks now. The ranks are very disturbed. We just put out 120 generals and admirals just put out a letter last week denouncing the Biden policies, and we will be coming out with even more of our ideas and solutions of what has to happen in America now. We cannot permit this to happen. We can't wait to the 2022 elections to do anything about it. We can't wait for legislation. If the politicians want to do anything, they ought to be standing up and fighting in the halls of Congress. They ought to be marching over to the White House and laying it on Biden.
Okay.
And we're not going to permit this anymore. We need affirmative action. We don't need rhetoric.
So on this, let's talk about solutions. So you started to talk about one solution. Explain how this is going to move forward. So you said there are admirals and generals, there are leaders in the military that right now that are retired. Okay, they're retired, but right now did I understand you correctly, sir? Are they getting ready to make a presentation to Biden, or what are they working on right now to walk this thing back?
Well, if you read our letter, you can Google it. 120 Generals and Admirals is the title, and you can see what we said about the policies that are being promulgated by the Biden administration to weaken the United States, to weaken our national security, to protect America and its citizens. It's folding under the spread from the Chinese Communist Party. They know we're a weakened nation right now.
Right.
And of course, you know what predators do.
Right.
They take advantage of you when you're weakened.
That's
you can
right.
see what's happening with the Palestinian uprising again. You can see what's happening
with the border. With
Iran. You can see the cartels becoming even more
aggressive.
More involved
Yes.
in the process of flooding the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing nothing about the cartels. We're doing nothing other than we have our troops that are still afloat in the China Sea, for example, 2 aircraft carrier groups. I don't know whether, if China attacks Taiwan, whether Biden has the courage, or we have the courage, even in our military, senior military, to do anything about it. China knows this.
Do you think this letter that's been written is going to impact President Biden's policies at all?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But we've made a stand. We're standing up and saying this is what has to be done, and we're not going to quit. We're going to continue to be on the offensive.
Okay. All right.
Stand up for the American people. Now, it takes more than the politicians and the generals and admirals. It takes all of us Americans standing up to this. We're not going to take it anymore.
Right. Well,
that's what we have to do. We have to fight at the school level, the county level, the state level.
I'm going to ask my audience right now. I've lifted up my laptop. I want to tell my audience, contact the U.S. Capitol switchboard, ladies and gentlemen. That number is 202-224-3121. Again, that's the Capitol switchboard number, 202-224-3121. I also want you, ladies and gentlemen, to write down this number. It's the president's comment line. Tell him what you think about all this. 202-456-1111. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to do what Major General Paul VALLELY has so succinctly and clearly stated today. You need to let the president and your representative in Congress know critical race theory needs to end now in the United States military. There does not need to be a purge of Judeo-Christian, more traditional thinkers, conservatives in the U.S. military. I think another solution, Major General, is this legislation. I thought it was important that Mark Green, graduate also from West Point, said that the critical race theory is a Marxist ideology. And again, he's proposed that legislation in the House to make it illegal for military service academies to train leaders in critical race theory. Senator Tom Cotton, he's also introduced a bill called Combat Racist Training in the Military Act. It's a House companion bill in the Senate that's going to prohibit the United States military from promoting critical race theory. Another bill is by a Republican bishop, saying it's a comprehensive legislation to restrict critical race theory. All this is a part of President Trump. You know, President Trump provided leadership on this issue. You'll recall, Major General, he wrote an executive order that he signed last year President Trump banned critical race theory from federal agency training. That, of course, includes the military. These Republicans now in the House and the Senate want to get this passed. Isn't this part of that solution? Is making it illegal?
It's part of the offensive action,
right,
that the American people and its representatives must take to overturn what is a move to the left, a move to communism in the United States.
Excellent.
You need to wake up and understand what's going on.
Right.
This is the same thing that happened under, where they completely dominate, and they're using COVID as a cover to really keep the population down, and gradually now opening it up. But this has all been planned out by the Democrats. They said they were going to do it, and they're doing it. We must take every Democrat out of office in the next election. That's one of the things we have to do. We have to put constitutional patriots back in charge of our government.
Well,
they represent us.
Right.
They work for us.
Well,
we don't work for them.
I've been praying, and I continue to pray. I've been praying about taking back for the Republican Party running for Senator Dianne Feinstein's seat in the United States Senate in 2024. And I'm putting together a core committee. So,
excellent.
Yeah, so I'm hoping actually it seems as though, based on the support I've been getting here in California, it looks like I'm going to make that run for the United States Senate. Major General Paul VALLELY, you are so correct. I believe this is part of the communist threat within the Democratic Party that we're facing today. I want to thank you for your organization, your website, standupamericauS.org. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look, read all those articles. They're so important. That's how I learned about this, was reading Major General Paul Vallely's website. Thank you, sir. Thank you for what you're doing, all the work you do to help make America safe.
Stand up, America, and thank you, Denice, for what you're doing, and best of luck in this bid for the Senate out there. You'd be perfect for it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. God bless you. All right. Bye-bye for now.
Mm-hmm. President Trump has correctly stated that economic security is national security, and in the Tehachapi Mountains of Kern County resides a United States defense contractor, Denice Products. Here is the Silicon Valley of the aerospace industry, right here in East Kern. Denice Products is a forward-leaning manufacturer and distributor of hardware sold to major defense and aerospace companies. We're talking about Boeing, Lockheed Martin, United Technologies, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon General Electric, and on the list goes, as well as to every United States ally worldwide, including Israel, America's most important strategic ally in the Middle East. And for everything that flies, Denice Products is providing the parts. And with me today is the president of Denice Products, Scott Baker. Hi, Scott.
How you doing?
You believe this corner of the county is the hub of the aerospace industry.
Well, this portion of Southern California here out in the Antelope Valley, it contains, some of the most cutting edge technology going on in aviation today. We have some of the UCAS programs with unmanned technologies going on. We have Edwards Air Force Base out here who's doing continual testing in their area. We have the Naval Weapons Station up there at China Lake doing some fantastic cutting edge stuff, cruise missile technology. Those things are going on. We have Scale Composites locally doing a lot of composite technology, which is SpaceX, which is a private entity putting things in space now. This area is the growth center for aviation's future. This is the area I think that as a nation we need to be concentrating some of our effort, taking this technology, and as we all know, with the space program from Apollo years ago, out of these technologies, we the private sector are going to reap some of the benefits of that.
Thank you, Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Baker, president of Denice Products. Denice Products, located in the beautiful mountains of Tehachapi, California, in eastern Kern County, is home to some of the most innovative and specialized technologies in the world, including those at the U.S. Naval Air Warfare Center, Weapons Division at China Lake, Edwards Air Force Base, as well as Strata Launch, launching satellites capable of delivering multiple orbits in a single flight to space. And it is Denice Products that has provided the manufactured devices, and the president, Scott Baker of Denice Products, Marine Corps veteran, reactivated on 9/11 to monitor threats to the homeland, is carrying on a tradition of providing for the security of the United States by manufacturing every kind of fastener on anything that flies, as well as providing a full testing destructive laboratory. Contact Denice Products, now in business for 30 years, at 661-822-6873. Located at 1314 Goodrich Drive in Tehachapi for your manufacturing and testing needs today.
I want to tell you about a place I love to go, Frugatti's Italian Restaurant. Very few locations here provide seating outside in front of a fabulous water fountain with an atmosphere that is reminiscent to me of eating outdoors in Venice. This is real Italian food by real Italians. And what makes it even more so is owner Ralph Frugoletti, who nearly a quarter century ago brought a wood fire oven from Milan, Italy to make, like his mother, fresh homemade bread and pizzas. Moreover, Frugatti's Restaurant offers you not only the very best in Southern Italian cooking, even importing the finest ingredients for authentic Italian food, including a fitness menu. After all, Ralph has represented the United States and Italy, competing in the Master Championship Games. He knows all the right food for good fitness, so check out the menu. After today's broadcast, run over to Frugatti's Italian Restaurant and Catering at 600 Coffee Road here in Bakersfield. And after a Friday Saturday, or Sunday service, stop into Frugati's for a great lunch. And for dinner, there is live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll see you there, and tell Mr. Ralph Frugaletti that Denice sent you. Salute. Bon appetito.